Alright, what's going on, everybody? So, if you're a fan of My Hero Academia, you've probably already heard about this news that basically Legendary is making a live action adaptation of My Hero Academia. Now, with this live action adaptation, Legendary is producing it. Um, it's going to be overseen by Alex Garcia and Jay Ashenfelter. I've never heard of these guys, but I've looked at their I've looked at their track record, their movies and TV shows or whatever that they were involved with. Alex Garcia, he was the producer on Godzilla vs. Kong, Godzilla King of Monsters, Kong, Skull Island, Krampus, Black Cat, Godzilla, 300, Rise of Empire. Just a few movies. He was also on the crew of X-Men 2, and he was also self-credited on Godzilla Force of Nature. But okay, so for Jay Ashenfelter was the producer on Pacific Rim, Uprising, and that's pretty much the most notable thing that I see from Jay Ashenfelter. So they basically got two guys that don't exactly have the best track record to be overseeing this project, which is something that I expect because just with Legendary, if you guys don't remember, Legendary is also supposed to be the one, if I remember correctly, Legendary is also supposed to be the one producing the Naruto live action adaptation, and we haven't heard anything from that. And so that's why I'm kind of with the internet a little bit on this, but then at the same time, because like with these live action anime adaptations, the internet and just I guess anime fans in general, they all have the same reaction to it. The internet is just reacting the way that the internet, the fans are reacting the way that I would expect them to. They're already referencing Dragon Ball Evolution. They're already referencing Avatar and Death Note because those movies were trash. And those are the movies that people go to as soon as someone mentions a live action adaptation of a popular anime series. And it's fair, the internet, as they say, the internet never forgets. And us anime fans, we're really picky when it comes to adapting, whenever Hollywood decides to adapt, a popular, beloved source material. But with this, I'm seeing a lot of people bring up Sky High. Everyone keeps making this joke of we already had this movie. It's called Sky High, and honestly, I saw that movie again a few months ago, and yeah, it like we already had this movie. It was called Sky High. I mean, I'm just like with the rest of the internet with that, but unlike a lot of anime adaptations, I kind of feel like this could work, but I don't like. There's a lot that I'm a little questionable about, mainly because, okay, as I mentioned before, Jay Ashenfelter and Alex Garcia, these two people, they have a few things under their belt, but they're not exactly big names. And I'm not saying you necessarily need two big name producers, but they these two people, these two basically no name people, they don't exactly instill confidence. Like if you would have gotten somebody, if they would have gotten somebody like the Russo brothers that work on the Marvel movies, that worked on Avengers, the last Avengers movie, and then Civil War and the Captain America movies. They should have gotten the Russo brothers or like Christopher Nolan or somebody notable. And that's one of my problems with these projects coming out of studios like Legendary when it comes to these anime adaptations. Because just like with the Naruto movie, they got some no-name person. Like you're not really instilling a lot of confidence. And then what I think is gonna happen, and what I guess a lot of people will probably hope, is that this movie is gonna probably end up in the same position that the Naruto movie has already ended up, which I think I mentioned already that Legendary is also producing that, if I remember correctly. It's in development hell, basically. Like we haven't heard anything about that, and it was the same thing with a lot of live action adaptations. Like where's that One Piece TV show? That still hasn't happened, and then we got announced a while back the live action Mobile Suit Gundam movie. Like a lot of these movies, they stay in development hell, and honestly, we need somebody who's actually passionate about these series, and I don't know if these two guys are it. I mean, maybe they're big fans of the series, but you can't just put anybody on this because uh, adapting an anime series with the problem with like Naruto and Dragon Ball, it's so fantastical. But my thing with My Hero Academia is that it could kind of work, and I can kind of see it working mainly because. And I was thinking about this the other day because I just finished the first season of My Hero Academia, and I'm on the second season right now. But when you think about My Hero Academia and what it is inspired by, because My Hero Academia, the main character Deku, he is inspired by a little bit about Spider-Man. Spider-Man was kind of the inspiration for the character, and then when you think about the world of My Hero Academia, it is basically a heightened version of our world when you think about it. I mean, they say it in the intro. At first, they didn't have powers, and then all of a sudden, they have powers now. And then now this whole world is a world of heroes and villains. But with the character of Deku, itself, or Izuku, he's a very grounded, he's kind of a very relatable character, and with this world, it's actually just a heightened version of our world. So I don't think it's too much of a stretch for them to do this movie. It's just some of the effects, some of the powers. Like, who do you get to play All Might? And again, the internet, I'm seeing a lot of people keep bringing up Dwayne the Rock Johnson, and honestly, as tired as I am, of seeing Dwayne the Rock Johnson, he would be a perfect fit, I guess, for All Might because I can't think of anybody else. I can't think of anybody else that can play All Might. And like, who do you get to play Deku? And like, it's so much in there. It's so much in this series that I don't know how you're gonna adapt it. And there's also that worry that they'll end up shoving too much of the source material, trying to fit so much of it into one movie. Like with the Death Note movie, they tried to cover too much. Like with the Dragon Ball Evolution movie, I believe they did the same thing. So with this movie, I don't think a lot of people have too much confidence in it. But as I always say, movies like this, like I truly believe that there will be a great anime movie one of these days. I was one of the very few people who like Ghost in the Shell. I like that movie. I don't care what anyone says. I mean, I didn't really have an attachment to the Ghost in the Shell anime, but from what I saw, it seemed to be very faithful to the source material, even though a lot of people will probably disagree with my statement there. But then again, like I said, I didn't really have too much of an attachment to the source material. But the thing is with this, because also, fans are already going to be saying, hey, don't blackwash, don't whitewash the characters or whatever. And with this being, I assume, American, a big American adaptation, you can bet that they might want to put some big stars in this, and I wouldn't be too I don't know, and I don't really know about them doing that, about them putting in big stars with this. There's a funny picture going around, and I'm probably gonna use that as the picture for this video if I don't decide to use like gameplay or anything like that from a video game. But there's a funny picture going around where they have Dwayne the Rock Johnson as All Might, Michael Cera as Deku or Izuku, and they got Emma Stone as Uraraka. It's like it's funny, but when you think about all these big name actors, like that's the part of me that kind of wants a bunch of no names, but I don't really want a bunch of Asian people. Like I get that the the show takes place in Japan, so unlike a lot of anime like with Naruto or I can't really say Dragon Ball Z, but there's certain anime, like, when it comes to these anime live-action adaptations, people keep assuming, oh, we need to get some Asian people. They gotta be Asian. No, I'm not, like, one of those people that think you always gotta cast an Asian person. I'm not one of those people. You don't have to cast an Asian person. But with My Hero Academia, it does take place in Japan, so I guess cast some Asian people, but they could choose to cast some white people because, again, it goes back to that whole thing of notoriety. Like that was one of the reasons why they cast Scarlett Johansson for the Ghost in the Shell movie. It's like she has that notoriety. I can't even speak right now. She has that notoriety and like people know who Scarlett Johansson is, so it's better to get a known actor because you're gonna get more butts in seats. Just off the name alone, you're gonna get more butts in the seats. But then it's like when I'm just looking at this picture right now, it's just like all I see are the actors. I don't see the characters. I just see the actors, and that would be the problem. It's like who can really embody these characters, and that is one of the most important things that I always bring up when I'm talking about these live action adaptations. As long as you get somebody that can really play the character, I don't care if they're black, white, Asian, whatever. Just get somebody who can play the character. That's the most important thing. It's just like with and just to bring something else up, like the Teen Titans, the Teen Titans show that's on the DC universe. They got a black person playing Starfire. She's the best person on that show, despite the fact that her costume looks like crap. But you got somebody who can really play. They got somebody who can really play their version of Starfire. And that's what they need to do here because they're probably, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, they're probably gonna change some things. And it's probably gonna piss a lot of people off, but they're probably gonna have to change some things because, as I always say, stuff that worked in the cartoon and the anime, it might not work. It might not translate well to the screen. But as long as they don't, as long as they stay true to the heart of what My Hero Academia is, and Deku and all the characters, then it's fine to make some changes. But yeah, I'm kind of, I know I'm kind of going out on a rant, and I apologize, but I have a lot to really say about this because this could work because I'm just getting into the series really. I'm just really getting into the series. I enjoy it. I think it's one of the best anime to really come out in a while, and it doesn't surprise me that a studio would want to do a live action adaptation of this. But I'm really on the fence about this, but if there's one adaptation that could work, it could be My Hero Academia. It could have been Death Note, but people the they decided to shove a lot of BS in Death Note, and they weren't really being true to a lot of the characters, and that's really the key when it comes to these type of live action adaptation movies. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the My Hero Academia live action adaptation. Do you think this is going to be stuck in development hell? Because that's what I'm kind of thinking. It's going to be stuck in development hell for a while. We have that movie Battle Angel Alita or whatever that got delayed until next year. But it seems like Hollywood is trying to adapt more anime now, and I'm excited to see what they do with it, so long as they're being more faithful to the source material. And you can tell with like stuff like Ghost in the Shell. Say what you want about that movie, but they were trying to pay homage. They were trying to kind of nod to the series with that. They were trying to stay true to it as much as possible. So I kind of have a little bit more faith in Hollywood now, just because I think they've kind of learned from Dragon Ball Evolution. But then when it comes to like stuff like the Netflix Death Note movie, that does kind of take me back a little bit. But we'll see. So thank you guys for listening. If you guys decided to watch all of this, because I know this is a really long video, so I apologize. I'm on here for like 14 minutes, kind of rambling about this. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this, and like the video, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. This has been Fear No Hate. I'm out of here. Peace.